So, Grace and Ashley from the latest season of Married at First Sight UK are back on life support. No surprises there. I said it on their wedding day. This couple is doomed at first match. And they've both been set up here. They keep going round in circles. They both keep doing this point scoring things. They both keep saying, "You're making me look bad." And it's time for them to pack it up and call it a day. As I have said before, I feel like Grace is getting a lot of flack. People are saying she's hard work, she's difficult, this and that. I do think Grace is a bit annoying. But like I said before, one thing about Grace is that she has made her boundaries very clear, and Ashley keeps ignoring them and then playing dumb when he's called out. A lot of comments I keep getting is he has good intentions. But how far does that go if he keeps intentionally doing things that upset Grace and he knows that upsets Grace? It comes to a point where it's no longer about good intentions and it's about Ashley wanting to get his way and his frustration that Grace isn't a pushover. A great example is their latest dispute with this whole situation where basically Ashley wanted some pum pum. Grace said she wasn't in the mood because she was going to the gym. And he basically said, "Well, there's a good looking half naked girl in front of me. What do you expect?" Grace didn't like it. She checks him on it and basically says that it was basically a bit crass and she didn't like it and she felt like he would be saying that to any woman. And he basically gets defensive and is like, "Well, it was a compliment. Why are you taking it the wrong way? Why are you trying to make me look bad?" We've watched Grace for like a month now. And anyone who's watched this and who knows Grace would know a comment like that she wouldn't like, right? So Ashley knows this at this point, and yet he still says things like that. We know that Grace is a feminist. She doesn't really like these crass sexist jokes. Ashley says that it's a compliment, but let's be real. If we break it down, like if you are socially conscious, he essentially called Grace a piece of meat. And it wasn't suave. It wasn't suave. It wasn't classy. It was giving me very much like I'm horny and I want sex right now. That's what it was giving. And let's say even if you're a girly who is not a feminist girly, I'm pretty sure there's probably a time in the month where you're not in the mood to be treated like a piece of meat. There's probably some point in the month where your hormones are everywhere and, you know, you're just trying to mind your business. Your man is begging like a dog and he's treating you like a piece of meat and you don't like it. Definitely could have been a bit more tactful with that. "No, sorry, you look really good today." But he said, "What do you expect? There's a nice girl in front of me half naked. What do you expect?" Like, that's just straight up classic misogynistic sexual objectification. There's just nothing romantic about that. So I'm not surprised that Grace feels a type of way. And if that was my man, I'd be feeling some type of way, as if like I'm some any girl, like I'm just some any half naked girl. Absolutely not. But he's trying to be like, "Well, it's a compliment. Why are you taking it in a bad way?" Absolutely not. That was a backhanded compliment. So no, it didn't land. It didn't land. The real issue here is that Ashley, he said it from the beginning, he's an old-fashioned man. He wants a woman who's going to submit to him and who's going to, you know, kiki and giggle at all of his crash jokes. Grace is a feminist and she's not going to bend that much. He's managed to get her to, you know, bend a little bit. You know, she's making an effort with her look. She's doing her makeup. She's doing her nails. But there's certain hard boundaries that she's put in place that Ashley keeps pushing. And he's still coming to the terms with the fact that she's not submissive and he can't get away with things like this, you know, and that she doesn't like him enough to allow herself to be a pushover. And that's what he's not getting over. This is a grown-ass man. You know, one slip up, okay, 2 slip ups, but constantly doing it, he knows what he's doing. And he's just mad that he's not getting his way. And I think a lot of the people who don't like Grace are people who like old-fashioned men and like the old-fashioned ways of things and don't like assertive women with conviction, or they don't like feminists, full stop. That's what it's giving. But ultimately, they're not a match here. They should have given Ashley an old-fashioned woman, a submissive woman, as his match, and they should have given Grace a progressive man as her match. They did this on purpose and they got what they wanted. They've gotten drama, but it's draining, it's boring. I'm sick and tired of them going back and forth, pointing at each other like Spider-Man. It's weird and it needs to stop. And they both need to leave. But I gotta hear from you guys. what do you think the issue is here? Do you think it communication? Is it the fact that they're incompatible, or do we feel like somebody's being unreasonable in this relationship? Do you think that they should be negotiating more, compromising more? I gotta hear from you guys.